Awesome. All right, I will call this regular meeting of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, March 26, 2020 to order. I'd like to welcome to our new temporary form of council meetings due to the coronavirus outbreak. Thanks to Governor Lee, Executive Order 16, we're able to continue to conduct our council business remotely by electronic means. I want to thank Chris, Kenny, and Josh for all the quick work to allow this council meeting to be conducted with the council members remotely participating. We apologize for any technical glitches that may occur, and we'll continue to work to make this better. Before I go into the invocation, I'm going to pass this off to Mark. He wants to make a comment here, our city attorney.
That's correct. We're in obviously extraordinary times at this time in really uncharted areas. In connection with the executive order that was handed down by Governor Lee, we have been in consultation with MTAS as well as the Coalition for Open Records and Open Meetings. And as part of this meeting that we're having electronically, it's important that we've acknowledged that this body has made a determination that a meeting via electronic means is necessary to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the community in light of the COVID-19 virus. So we want the minutes to reflect, Ms. Middleton, that the City Council has made a determination that it was necessary to have a meeting via electronic means as a result of the state of emergency that was declared by Governor Lee, and as a result, we're having this meeting via electronic means.
Thank you, sir. All right, at this point, I would like to ask Daniel Beard to lead us, to give us our invocation and lead us in our pledge. Please, everyone here will rise, please.
Dear God, all authority is yours, but you have given all authority to leaders to guide us and protect us. This evening, we ask that you would give all our leaders wisdom, discernment, strength, and resolutions to solve the current crisis at hand. Keep them healthy, safe, and rested so that they can continue to guide us through this troubling time. Give our government leaders, from the president down to our own East Ridge city government officials, wisdom about what needs to be done to stop the virus both locally and nationally, and allow them to have wisdom to not only stabilize our economy, but to continue the forward progress here in East Ridge and this nation. Give our spiritual and faith-based leaders your discernment on how to meet people's needs as they continue to glorify your name and show compassion and encouragement in this season. Give our medical leaders and scientists insight into how to stop the virus, strengthen their resolve, and honor their hard work in creating a treatment for COVID-19. Keep our doctors, nurses, our caregivers, and all of our healthcare workers healthy as long as they continue to work these long hours and to serve in this time of need. Give our civic leaders, our police officers, our firefighters, our EMTs, and our first responders inspiration, courage, joy, and strength to meet the needs of their communities. Help them to stay healthy and safe at all times here in East Ridge and outside of East Ridge, even more so in this time of COVID-19. I pray for those that have been affected due to being temporarily laid off or not being able to work, that you will continue to see that their bellies are full, that their roof is over their head, and that you will supply their needs according to your plan. I pray for the safety and health of those who are still having to work, whose jobs are essential, that you would not only bless them, but help them to remain healthy and safe. And help us here in East Ridge as leaders and pioneers to display courage, hope, generosity, wisdom, and kindness toward one another in this season. I pray directly over the agenda tonight that our elected leaders in this community and our city managers would use wisdom in all of their decisions. I pray for them, their families, and their health. I pray, God, that you would lead us and that you would guide us as we continue to make East Ridge a great community to raise our families in. In your Son's name, Jesus, I myself pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Beard. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Mayor Williams,
Here.
Vice Mayor Helton,
Here.
Councilmember Cagle,
Here.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Here.
Councilmember Witt,
Here.
City Manager Dorsey,
Here.
City Attorney Litchford.
Here.
Thank you. As you notice, we are actually adhering to the social distancing here in the council, and we have 2 of our council members that are remote video. All right, we'll move into item 4, the consent agenda. I will assume everyone has actually read the consent agenda, the minutes from March 12th, 2020 regular council meeting, and the February 2020 financial report. I will entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, we have a motion from Councilmember Chauncey and a second from Councilmember Cagle. Do we have any discussion? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Helton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. All right, we'll move into item 5, communications from citizens. We had an opportunity for communications to be submitted via email today, and those would then be read into record and handed out to all the council members. We did not have any, so we're going to go on record for just mentioning that. So I will then move into communications from council members. I'm going to start with remote. Vice Mayor Helton.
Yes. First of all, I'd like to thank Governor Lee for making it possible for us to have meetings this way temporarily. And I want to thank Mayor Williams for taking the necessary steps to help make our citizens safe. I urge everyone to shelter in place. I think this is unprecedented, and I pray for the healthcare workers and our first responders and for the health and safety of our citizens. And I know we're going to get through this, and so let's just all stay strong and try to lift one another up in prayer. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Witt.
Well, I want to reinforce what she said. I want to thank you for taking the action to keep us safe here in this bridge. I want to also pray for the first responders and all the essential businesses that are staying open. So everyone stay in and we'll get through this.
Thank you. Councilman Cagle.
Yes, sir. Ditto on everything that they said about the virus and everything. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Thank you. But I have 2 other things touching here to home. I'd like to find out about the 4 police we have. Are they still out sick? Have they found out about the infection yet or not?
I can't comment on some of that for HIPAA concerns, but they are not at work at this time.
Okay. My second part of that question is, are they being paid by sick leave, workers' comp, or are we going to turn this in on the federal to get this money back for these gentlemen?
Well, number one, we're still waiting to see exactly what's happening with the federal bill because they finally just approved it, last night. So we don't know all the terms that's with it yet. The first step, because the mayor asked about this yesterday, the first step we do is we turn it in as workers' comp because that's what we do for any work-related injury. So we're going to let that process start its course, and then we will go from there. I've already talked to the mayor about, we need to make sure we take care of our employees, especially anyone that's afflicted with this. So it's just ebb and flow. And the biggest thing I told the mayor we were waiting on was to wait and see what Congress did first. But the first step for them is to go to workers' comp, which any injury would at this point. So to answer your question, that's a long, convoluted way. I won't know more for another week or so.
Okay, I've got another part of that. We don't need them losing any pay because I know workers' comp won't pay up to 100%, so we need to put their money back without them taking it out of sick leave.
Well, first of all, we don't have sick leave. We just have personal leave total. But yes, once again, you're right. We just need to wait and see what the federal government is coming, because I've already been asked that question a couple times, even before it passed, and since they were making changes up to the last minute. When we have a little more understanding of how the federal bill works, then I can give you a better answer.
All right. Another question is, do they have plenty of safety equipment? Gloves, masks, the shirts that they might need? Of course, I don't think they'd be wearing them, the police wouldn't.
Right.
Police department, the fire department, the same way, do they still have enough?
You want to answer the fire department part?
Yeah, I think I can answer it collectively. So they've done an inventory of everything that they have available. The resources that they don't have, they put a request in through TEMA, and if you'll see, most of the supplies are going to TEMA and then dispersed locally. So what they don't have, they will receive.
I just want to be sure, because I've heard them complain about, gloves and masks, so.
It's just there's such a shortage across the country. They're not easily accessible.
Right. And I'd like to mention one more thing, Nani didn't bring it up, it's her census. I read an article the other day on it, that the door-to-door census thing being pushed back 2 weeks. Is that correct, Ms. Witt?
Yes, it has. Right now, they're still doing the online and the mail-in and telephone, but everything else has been delayed. And it has been extended for the online, telephone, and mail-in till August. But everything else is delayed.
Thank you, sir. Councilmember Johnson.
I don't have anything, other just thank you, Mayor, and thank you to the city manager and staff for all their hard work getting it set up. I know it's been a lot of extra work for everybody, but I just want to say thank you again.
It is, and real quick, I would like to just give a shout out to the fire and police chief. They both worked really hard over the last few weeks, even before this really started becoming a reality, on how response plans were going to work, how they were going to change some policies and procedures to be able to keep as safe distance as possible. At the end of the day, we all know that they have a job to do. It's a vital function of our city to make sure that everybody stays safe. But it's been taking some adapting when you're used to running every single call, and anytime somebody dials 911, to be able to now county-wide, they're screening those, they're asking a lot of questions to determine if it is a possible case, if it's not a possible case. And the system from emergency management down, I feel is working really well. There's a lot of communication, and Hamilton County is really, I think, blessed to have the emergency management office that they have, especially the way that they're able to disseminate information and pull people in, so we can all work collectively to the same goal.
Thank you. I say the same as Vice Mayor Hilton and all the council members here, and the first responders, and even all the staff that's essential that's having to work. But as everyone knows, we're impacted greatly by this terrible pandemic. This impact could be financially by temporary reduction in the workforce due to the altered business model, or by being isolated, or social distancing. In either event, we as a city are constantly monitoring the situation and making decisions to protect the health, safety, and well-being of our community and citizens. It's not our goal to disrupt lives or to cause financial hardships. These local city executive orders are planned to be temporary. We must flatten the curve of the continued outbreak and do our part to eliminate new cases and potential deaths. Now, with that being said, we must not let the cure for the crisis be more disruptive than the virus itself. So we're continuing to monitor the daily. Actually, the city manager and I are speaking many times a day and even throughout the night. And we'll adjust orders or place new ones as needed. We also want to thank all the restaurants that remain open to provide drive-through, takeout, deliveries, and other businesses throughout the city that's providing services for our community at this time. We're also very inspired and very thankful for all the numerous individuals, organizations, churches that are offering to help with shopping, deliveries, supporting individuals that are quarantined or just uncomfortable leaving their home. We are in this together, and together we will prevail and quickly return to business as usual. Feel free to reach out to the city with any questions, concerns, or information that you can provide. One other thing I wanted to note, and I'm going to hand it off to our city manager. I mentioned this, I want to mention it again. EPB is providing Quick Connect free Wi-Fi that's available at Spring Creek Elementary School. And it's for parents and students. They're encouraged to use this free Wi-Fi hotspot for online learning and other necessary business. So EPB is requesting to stay in your car, if at all possible, or maintain a social distance of at least 6 feet to observe all the CDC guidelines to reduce the possible spread of infection. But kudos to EPB for providing free internet and a location for our citizens and our students to go and be able to connect and get their homework done or conduct business. So that's all I have at this time. I'll hand it off to City Manager Dorsey.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, as you said, we've been going through some trying times here. Kenny and I have met with the department heads, and we have, with the ones we've been able to, we've worked on changes within our operating procedures on some of the ways that we have contact with each other, whether, for instance, in fire department, when one shift leaves, the next one comes in, they have no contact with each other as before they would, mingle and everything else, but they're going in one room out the other. Police, we're doing the same sort of thing. We're having officers stay longer on the streets and try to limit the amount of time they're in the squad rooms. City Hall, we have a couple people working remotely right now, so that if for some reason, heaven forbid, something happens to a couple of us here in City Hall, we have a second platoon, so to speak, that can come in and keep the continuity of government going for us. So I want to thank those people that are working from home and being diligent there and taking care of us so we can take care of business here. Another unintended good consequence of this is because the way, I want to thank Kenny and Josh for helping me get this electronic meeting set up. We have found a couple things in this room we didn't know existed, such as unrun Ethernet cables and things of this nature that are buried deep beneath the concrete and everything, which may help us soon in the future go ahead and permanently put internet in the back, which would help us put a computer back there and be able to have a better Facebook feed so that people at home see more than Councilmember Cagle, City Attorney Litchford, and you right now, because you can't turn an iPad sideways and get a landscape out of it. If somebody can figure that out, let me know. We've tried on Google for, 6 months, 8 months, there's no way to do it. So once we're able to upgrade some of that, we'll be able to have a better Facebook feed where we'll be able to see all the people up here and move forward. So,
And bi-directional. I'd love to see a camera facing out to the actual audience and citizens, and when someone comes up, and then from the back. So you could have a split panel. Absolutely.
yes.
And it's great that we're able to, do basically a hybrid meeting. We have a face-to-face meeting. We have 2 council members on Zoom right now that's operating, which has been uploaded to the cloud. We have Facebook Live, and then our normal means of recording, which will be placed on the webpage tomorrow. So there's a lot of different moving pieces that we've tried to somewhat fit together in the last 48 hours, but it's a work in progress.
Great job, guys.
Thank you. And we apologize for the quality on the Zoom. If it's not that great, we've been trying to find cameras that would work, and we're using my little personal web camera that goes on top of a monitor from home for here. It's not made really for long distances, but that's what we can do on short notice. And
With delayed shipments.
yes. So I think Andi and Esther are able to see us for the most part. We'll have like stick figures out there, but hopefully they can hear us well, right? Yes, yes.
The sound is not real clear at times, but I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you very good, Andy.
Yeah, I hear you really good, I just can't hear them really good. Can you?
you. No, I can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that fixed that.
Yeah, we can fix that. Our DJ is going to go take care of that. Next up, obviously, the mayor already spoke to the fact that we have already issued 2 executive orders so far for the health and safety of our citizens here. And thanks to City Attorney Litchford, we were able to get those out in a quick fashion. It took us a little bit, we believe, that, we were all in this together, and of course, Chattanooga put out some executive orders earlier. We have a different type of government, so we believe that what they're doing is also in the best interest of our citizens, but it takes us a little while to put our executive orders together to mirror the type of government we have versus what they have. City Attorney also made a couple changes in the order just to make it clearer for the citizens as to what things are permitted, what services are permitted, which ones aren't permitted. One thing Mark also wanted to make sure I mentioned was the fact that on some of the non-essential services, the news is saying that that we're closing them. All we've done is we have restricted some of the services they provide. In some cases, that might mean they want to close because there's not enough business left. But like, for instance, if you're at a hair salon or whatever, we're not saying you can't go in and still buy products and things of that nature from them. We're just restricting the services of the close contact between the client and the professional that's doing the work. So I just want to make sure I brought that point up.
Yes, thank you, City Manager, and I think it's important, I would hope that we, any news media out there recognizes that there's not shut down a business, it's just the non-essential services or non-essential activities
Within
engaged. And so if that's been out there, we would encourage and ask that be corrected and identified. And also during this time, since there is no shutting down of businesses, one option to support the local business owners is you can still go in and buy product. That would include gift certificates that, like for hair, we're going to have to get haircuts still. It just may be we get them in a delayed time, but we can buy gift cards now that would allow cash to be, go into these small businesses to use now to sustain them during this time period.
Thank you. Yes. And also, we've talked about the executive orders. Your brick and mortar stores that are essential are still open. We've asked within our order that they start adhering to the 6-foot social distance requirements like what we have here. Kay and I talked to the manager of Bass Pro today, with that being one of the larger stores we have here. We did not know they've already implemented the limitation of customers within their store. They only allow 50 customers in their store at a time right now. And after talking with the manager, he's going to work on making sure that at the registers, they've been trying this already, but they're going to make sure that they're able to have that 6-foot distance between the customers in the queue line, as I call it, getting up to the registers. So we're slowly working through those sort of things as well. The economic impact that this may bring to East Ridge, of course, with the drop in some of the businesses that we're having, that's going to impact our sales taxes, with the exception of the grocery stores. I have to say we'll be doing a little higher sales tax on those. But overall, we anticipate our sales taxes will probably go down, which will also be a drop in some of our revenues just for the last couple months of this year, depending on how long this goes, because your revenues are at least, Diane's not here, but it's usually at least a month or 2 months in arrear, later that we get them after the incident. By the time it goes to the state, then it goes back to the clerk, and then it comes to us. So with that, as you all know, the governor has changed his assumptions on the budget for next year to have 0 revenue growth, and we will probably have something very similar with little or no growth, as well as we are currently in the middle of working through our budget at this time. So that is one of the assumptions we're going under as well. I think that's all I have. Is there anything I forgot from our long list?
I don't believe so.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, we'll move into item 8, old business, which we have none, so then we'll move straight to 9, new business. So item 9A, resolution number 3036.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, authorizing the mayor or his designee to enter into an agreement for the operation of food and refreshment concessions for the East Ridge Parks and Recreation Department.
Mayor and council, working with the Parks and Rec Department, we had our concession vendor, that contract came up this year. We sent out RFPs. We did review those and they came back, and then we narrowed it down to those 2 that actually did apply. One was Family Concessions LLC, the other was Top Shelf Concessions. Family Concessions is locally ran and operated. They currently operate Finley Stadium, Lookouts, Memorial Auditorium, several venues around Chattanooga. The other was Top Shelf Concessions. They're based around the Marietta, Emerson area. They run things out of Lake Point, which is another top-notch company. The difference was the percentage that would come back to the city. Family Concessions was consistently for 3 years at 25% back to the city. Top Shelf was 13% the first year, 15% the following years. staff recommended going with Family Concessions LLC.
And I'd like to add real quick on that. One of the things we also had in the bid was we gave an example list of the products that would be sold. And even though one is a lower percentage concession to the city than the other, the costs of the products, the charges for the products sold are still very similar.
Yes.
So the,
Similar process, similar products.
yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, I will entertain a motion for resolution number 3036.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 3036.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion by Councilmember Johnson and a second by Councilmember Cagle. Do we have any discussion?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Is
sir.
there a reason why we didn't give them all 5 concession stands in the park instead of just 4?
I don't recall a reason why. I was just sitting here counting myself.
We got 2 on the side. One, the new one you got put in between the fields, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the one on top of the hill, and the one up there about beside the big softball fields. So that's 1, 2, 3. The one at the soccer out there at the back, one at the soccer stadium is back.
Yeah, it could just be a misprint.
It's a proposal, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So it's, we do have all 5, but that's where the resolution's reading, that they've only got 4.
Yeah, we can make adjustments and there's still some negotiation that we would probably like to do with the company as it relates to food and beverage services. So.
Any other questions, sir?
No.
Any other questions, council? I do have a question. Is the prices, you said the costs were the same, are you talking about the purchase price or the
In other
selling
words,
price?
if you want to buy a Coke, it's $2 on one, $2.50 on the other.
And that's
If you
the
want to buy
consumer
popcorn,
cost?
yes.
Okay.
The price
Is
is
that
charged
no-
to consumers.
I know we had some concerns with some seemed to be high prices previously, so I just wanted to check to see if they were comparable
Yeah, that
and
was
reasonable.
Yeah, it was comparable and reasonable, and then they understand the contracts that we already have in place with certain vendors
Okay.
for sponsorships and stuff.
Okay, awesome. No other questions? Roll call, Ms. Miller.
Vice Mayor Hilton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution 3036 passed. We'll move to item B, resolution 3037.
Resolution 3037, a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, to waive the fee for use of Camp Jordan Arena for the remote area medical free clinic.
Yes, Mayor and Council, I don't believe the remote area medical clinic needs much of an introduction, considering the many wonderful attributes that company provides. It's truly amazing, but they went ahead and wanted to get ahead of the curve a little bit, and Mr. Neville asked if the city would be willing to provide the arena at no charge October 22nd through the 24th of 2021. He wants to go ahead and get that date reserved. It's been a huge success in East Ridge. They love coming to East Ridge. We're able to help many people, and staff wholeheartedly recommends that we do that.
Absolutely. So I'll entertain a motion for resolution 3037.
Make a motion to approve RAM to have the arena free of charge.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion from Councilmember Cagle and a second by Councilmember Chauncey. Any discussion? All right, seeing none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Hilton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution 3037 passed. Item C, resolution 3038.
A resolution of the City Council, of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, memorializing the appointment of a member by Mayor Williams to the East Ridge Zoning Appeals Board.
Yes, so, Steve Leach had been the, appointed and serving as the zoning appeals board member. He has done this, for many, many years, and we definitely appreciate his service to our city. And I'm pleased to announce that we'll continue to have Steve Leach on our zoning appeals board. So I would like to reappoint Steve Leach. So I will entertain a motion to memorialize this appointment.
Make a motion to approve resolution 3038.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion by Councilmember Cagle and a second by Councilmember Chauncey. Any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Hilton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes.
Mayor, Council, thank you. I would just like to say something about Mr. Leach real quick. I've been working with Steve for a number of years now, and he is truly a valuable asset to just that board itself, but realistically to the cities. I mean, he's been involved 20 plus years working with this. I mean, that was his lifelong career, and serving on the board here also. Steve he understands the current zoning code better than anyone. And he's, the one that receives the tough cases that they have to look into. So, just for me and my staff, we would greatly just like to say thank you to Steve Leach for all he's done over the many years.
Absolutely. And I was excited that he was willing and wanting to continue. So, all right, we'll move to item D, resolution number 3039.
Resolution 3039, a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, authorizing the mayor or his designee to enter into professional services agreement with third-party firms to perform building and codes plans reviews.
Yes, Mayor and Council, this is for us to have a third-party plan review availability through multiple different companies. One would be March Adams and Associates, located locally here in Chattanooga. Municipal Inspection Partners out of Franklin, Tennessee. The Weldon Group out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Safe Built LLC out of Alpharetta, Georgia. FSCI out of Elgin, Indiana. And then we also currently have the ability to use the International Code Council. This will help us tremendously as we get large buildings doing these plans review. They take a lot of skill, a lot of time, and a lot of communication back and forth between engineers and developers. We will always be kept in the loop about what's going on. They will send all the final comments to us after all the corrections are made, but this will help speed up the process as it relates to plan review.
Thank you, sir. I'll entertain a motion for resolution 3039.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 3039.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve by Councilmember Chauncey. We have a second by Councilmember Cagle. Do we have any discussion? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Hilton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution 3039 passed. Item E, resolution 3040.
Resolution 3040, a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, authorizing the city to donate $500 to Spring Creek Elementary School for support of the arts.
Anything, gentlemen, to add?
This is the funds that is
Right.
normally budgeted that we provide to the schools.
Great, okay.
And I want to thank Andy for delivering all the applications to, Councilman Witt, for delivering all the applications to the elementary schools. It sounds like she had a good time delivering them too. She got to
I did.
talk to them, yes.
Awesome, awesome. And we've already had one check delivered, so this will be our second.
Yes.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion for resolution 3040.
Make a motion to approve 3040.
I'll second.
All right, we have got a motion by Councilmember Cagle, we have a second by Councilmember Chauncey. or our remote council members need to jump in there. Any discussion? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Helton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Webb,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution number 3040 passed.
I will say real quick, they're going to use the funds to support the arts, the orchestra, art class, choir.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out, yes.
I forgot.
Orchestra, art class, choir, etc. Thank you.
And one thing to note, Mayor, is since the schools have been out, especially during the first week or 2 weeks, it was really hectic. And a lot of those teachers really went above and beyond to help do sack lunches and get food delivered. There was a lot of deliveries out here. So thank you to them
Absolutely.
for doing that. It wasn't something that they just volunteered for. I mean, they didn't need to be asked to do it. They miss their kids and they want to make sure that they're being able to provide meals for them. And I think they've actually went above and beyond, put themselves in harm's way to go deliver these products, and hats off to them.
Very much agreed. Thank you, sir. Item number F, resolution number 3041.
Resolution 3041, a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, authorizing the city manager to enter into an interlocal agreement transferring the East Ridge athletic facilities to the Hamilton County, Tennessee Board of Education. Okay.
Back to you.
I'll take this. This is an agreement that was first triggered about 2 years ago at a time when the city stepped in and said to the school board that they would take over the facilities at the high school and middle school at a time when it was desperately needed. During this pretty much 24-ish month time period, the city has fulfilled those duties. They have spent an average of, what Mr. Custer, about $50,000 a year to maintain those fields. They retopped or resurfaced the entire tennis courts. And at this time, as I understand it, there is a strong desire by the school board and the school to build an athletic facility. As part of the need for that, there are setback requirements, and the city wanted to protect its interest in the tennis courts. And in doing so, the school board, we think, has accepted a proposal wherein they would agree to take back the facilities, and in exchange guarantee that there will be tennis courts there in the event that there is a triggering or a project that triggers the removal or replacement of those tennis courts. They have agreed to provide equivalent number of courts and new courts within the complex at a time when there would be no more loss of use for more than 1 year, and they would take back over the maintenance of those facilities. And I understand last Thursday, the school board voted and approved a proposal that was presented to them, and it does provide that tennis courts would be renewed or replaced within 1 year of the triggering event that gave rise to the removal or non-use of those tennis courts.
That's correct. The project you're talking about does not include the tennis courts. So the initial project they're talking about, and they've promised us that they're not going to ever do away with the tennis courts, but we wanted that into provision just to protect the citizens' use and the city to be able to utilize those tennis courts. So that did, like you said, Mr. Litchford, that did pass with that criteria last Thursday in their board meeting. So now it is back to us to then likewise approve.
Right.
So I will entertain a motion for resolution 3041.
I will make a motion to approve resolution number 3041.
I second the motion.
All right, ladies, we've got a motion by Councilmember Witt and a second by Vice Mayor Helton. Do we have any discussion?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Councilman Cagle.
The resolution reads, authorized by the city manager to enter into an agreement interlocal agreement. His name is not on the interlocal agreement. It's to be signed by the mayor.
Well,
So, do we need to change the resolution or change the interlocal agreement?
I think at this point, we can,
Let the mayor sign, that's fine.
we'll modify this. I don't think Mr. Bennett will have a problem. We can change the last page of the interlocal agreement to provide this, the mayor that is signing this. And so, or the interlocal agreement has the mayor, so the resolution will say needs to be prepared authorizing the mayor to execute the interlocal agreement.
Okay, so do we need to amend anything, or are we good?
Let's just, for clarity, since we're dealing with kind of an online electronic, if you're going to move to approve it, just to amend the as drafted, that it provide that the city mayor is authorized to execute rather than the city manager.
Point of order too, correct me if I'm wrong, but even though you authorized me to sign it, he is still the contracting officer of the city, so he's always allowed to sign it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked this is because the resolution didn't match
Right.
Correct.
the agreement.
Yes, sir.
So do we need to have an amend motion in second, or withdraw and
Let's just have a motion to amend the current outstanding motion that's out there, and we'll be able to satisfy it and resolve it.
okay. I'll entertain that motion.
So do I need to make that motion? To make a motion to amend resolution number 3041, authorizing the mayor to enter into the interlocal agreement?
You can make that. It does not matter who makes it.
Okay, I make that motion.
Second the motion.
So we'll vote on the outstanding motion, which is to amend Councilwoman Witt's original motion. Now that's on the floor is to amend it to provide that the mayor will execute the ILA.
Do me a quick favor. You usually do a good job of making sure who makes the motion in seconds in case we're not recording. So you keep up with that. 'Cause we didn't do it on this one just now.
Yep, we've got Councilmember Witt making the motion to amend for the mayor to sign interlocal, and a second by Vice Mayor Helton.
Correct.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I got a question. So if we vote and approve on this, does the city of East Ridge basically, after tonight, do they relinquish their responsibilities for maintaining the tennis courts after today?
Yes.
Now, I will say we're finishing up some work on the softball field from a drainage issue, and I feel it's still our responsibility to finish what we started over there. We still have to add a little dirt, at least some grass seed.
Yeah,
But
so-
we haven't been able to do it because of so much rain. But it happened under our
So-
watch, so we feel the responsibility we still need to finish our commitment on that.
There's also some language, I believe, that's in that agreement. So just real briefly, I won't get into a lot of it, but our Little League football uses the football field during the season. We have various groups that come back and forth. Soccer uses Camp Jordan. So we do help them on an as-needed basis to do some things. And that's been going on for a number of years, and we're going to continue to do that throughout this agreement.
Well, I just noticed that the tennis courts, one of the nets out there is pretty dragging, pretty, a little droopy. Probably could use a little tinkering around out there, maybe blow off the courts a little bit. But my main concern was that with giving it back to them this whole time was just the way they maintained it in the past. But I'm hoping that they will keep it up, at least where it's usable. So that's been my main concern. So I hope that they, like I said, do what they say they're going to do, maintain the tennis courts. Especially after today, it's springtime, it's summertime. I know when this whole virus thing kind of kills over, people want to get out there and play a little bit more, but I know that we're probably going to be getting some phone calls if the tennis courts aren't maintained, and we're probably going to have to revert those back to the proper channels, and that would be Chattanooga City Recs, Parks and Rec. Would that be pretty accurate?
No, it'd be.
Appropriate Hamilton County Schools.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
But I feel we have a good working relationship with them, and we can make sure that, run it through the proper channels and
Yes.
collaboratively work together to make sure that we have adequate plant services.
But there's nothing in this that says that Mr. City Manager don't get a call, that he cannot call someone and have them go up there and blow it off and look at it.
Right.
Correct. And out of full disclosure, do you want to briefly talk about a little bit what occurred? Because I was in constant communications with our board member, Tucker, about what occurred on the softball field, where there's a drainage pipe had collapsed and the city had replaced it, had backfilled it, and now we're just waiting to do a little some topsoil and some grass.
Right, because we haven't been able to get the heavy equipment. As you know, we rushed to make sure, rush isn't the right word, we worked overtime, but we made sure that during that window we had between storms, we had to wait a day or two for the field to dry some. We went in there best we could to do the work, got the first layer of soil on, right, Kenny? And then, we've had downpours ever since. And we don't want to trash softball fields, so we're
Correct.
trying to wait for it to dry, for us to be able to put that final layer of topsoil and to be able to see it. Because
So that's what the city manager's talking about a little bit. It's our responsibility. And it wasn't a sinkhole. It was just an old drainage,
It
a
was,
section of drainage
a small portion of the drainage
that had collapsed.
yeah, failure at the top.
We repaired it.
I would like to see, like I said, if Hamilton County can't go out there and do something, if it's still within our means, to go out there, like you said, to have some city employee go out there and blow it off, or if there's trash or broken glass or something out there, even though we're giving it back to them, and it's for the best interest of everybody, I get it financially, but if the city could, obviously still kind of work with Hamilton County to keep it up if it's something that doesn't.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
If it's something that just isn't real costly to do.
I have no problem, as Councilmember Cagle said, if they call us, if we get a citizen's call for an issue to maybe go blow leaves and stuff, but I don't want it to turn into where it all of a sudden becomes our responsibility to always pick up the trash, to always do this and all that. We're there to help be a backup for things if things fall through the cracks.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But if it's going to just sit out there, and with the citizens of East Ridge, when we put the money into resurface the tennis courts,
Oh, yeah.
and we want our citizens to be able to go out there and play and use it, so like I said, if there's broken glass out there, or the nets are hanging on the ground, if it's something that we can do, I'm not going to wait on. I'd prefer not to wait on Hamilton County to go out there and fix it. So maybe we'll just see what happens.
We agree. That's why we want to put provision in to protect the tennis courts, that they would always be there for our city. Yes, sir, we agree. So we're voting on the amendment to the resolution at this point. So any other discussion? Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Hamilton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. So now we'll move back to the actual motion and second for the resolution, which was by Councilmember Witt and seconded by Vice Mayor Hilton. Any discussion of this? I forget to keep looking up. I hear none, I see none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Hilton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution 3041 passed. That's all we have for the agenda for tonight. So we will now move into item G, discussion of the tentative agenda for the April 9th council meeting. We will have no old business at this point, and new business. We have an unnumbered resolution, bids for fire hose.
With this fire hose, we're probably going to have to back that up a little bit. We were expecting bids in this week, and with everything going on with the coronavirus and COVID-19 and all these sort of things, we didn't receive any bids this week. It could have been because businesses are closed. They might have less staff and just not turned anything in. So I have Chief Williams circling back with those agencies that provide this sort of stuff, and circle back and see what the issue was as to maybe why it wasn't, the bid didn't come out. And We're just gonna rebid it later on.
Okay,
They
so,
might not have seen the ad in the paper, or, you know, could have been a couple different things, just depending on how staffing might have been.
so will this be pushed back to the 23rd, or will we just wait and see?
We'll just push it off, and when the time comes, we'll put it back on the future agenda.
Okay. Thanks, sir. We'll move to item B, amendment resolution, TWRA Community Fishing Program.
Yes, sir. The Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency is developing a new community fishing program with the help of a grant from the Recreational Boating and Fishing Foundation. The goal of the program is to provide enhanced fishing opportunities in urban areas that recruit new anglers and lapsed anglers. Jack Dicker Memorial Pond at Camp Jordan has been selected as one of 2 sites in Tennessee to launch the community fishing program. The pond will be stocked by TWRA with catfish in April, May, and June, and then stocked with rainbow trout in December, January, and February. The June catfish stocking will coincide with the existing Optimist Club Fishing Rodeo. In addition, TWRA plans to host Family Fishing 101 classes monthly in April and June. TWRA plans to host an Intro to Trout Fishing event in December. And TWRA will also use the mobile First Catch trailer at these community events and lakes to engage, recruit, and reactivate urban anglers. This year-round opportunity for local fishing is to be the model for all community fishing lakes, and inevitably expansion of the community fishing program to all 5 major urban areas in Tennessee. Staff recommends partnering with TWRA to promote the community fishing program at Camp Jordan Park.
Sounds awesome. All right, any discussion?
I just like to say one thing, I'm part of the Optimist Club, and that fishing rodeo has been a success for the years we have put it on. TWRA comes down and does the weigh-in for us. They come out, furnish fishing rods, they sit there and they help all the kids, because the kids love it. We have anywhere between 80 and 100, and this is a big event down there around that park. So I want to give a big hoorah to TWRA.
Absolutely. Anyone else? Awesome. Do we have any other items that we'd like to add to the tentative agenda? Yes, sir.
Well, if there is no other items, I do have one more announcement.
Ladies?
Nothing on my end.
Nothing on mine.
I just wanted, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just, we don't have anything else to add.
I just want to also bring up the fact, as we all know, the Hamilton County School System has extended the delay of the start of classes, so that they're going to be out of school through the 24th of April and start back on the 27th as of now. We have been tailoring our suspension of events in the park and the closure of the library to the Hamilton County calendar. So those items are still coinciding with that calendar, so we have extended the suspension of events in the park and the closure of the library. I forgot to mention that earlier.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Anything else? All right.
I don't.
Thank you, members, for joining via Zoom. We appreciate that. Thank you for the community, everyone that has joined online and watched. So it will actually be, there's 3 modes you mentioned, that will actually be out and available, I believe, tomorrow. So I want everyone to be safe, be cautious, and stay healthy, and we appreciate it. Our meeting will be adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Hey Kenny, whatever you did to the sound, it got better.
Yep.
Good.
Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Bye, Lundy.
Bye, you look good.
So do you.
Hey, I think we were smart doing it this way.
I do